Proteins and amino acid requirements. Protein are found as a structural component tissue ranging from feather to muscle. Bones don't require protein, but rather the amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. Crude protein provide little information about the amino acid composition and or availability. Minimum crude protein level. In some cases, commercial feeds are still formulated to minimum crude protein level. This often results in feed that, with the exception of methionine and cysteine, have amino acid level significantly higher than required. For example, when formulating to minimum crude protein level, a corn soya diet may have excess lysine up to 30% above requirement and isoleucine, which in turn can drive muscle deposition and lower fertility. Although minimum recommendations for dietary crude protein content are shown in the specification, it's strongly recommended that diets are formulated on an amino acid basis. However, when no minimum crude protein content is specified during formulation, it's important to consider the content of all essential amino acids to avoid deficiencies with the use of the major synthetic crystalline amino acid lysine, methionine, cysteine, and threonine. The limiting amino acids in most diets may be tryptophan, arginine, valine, isoleucine. Therefore, if the dietary content of only methionine plus cysteine, lysine, and threonine are considered, a crude protein minimum should be specified to avoid deficiencies of other amino acids. Crude protein level can also be used as a means to analyze mixed feed and ensure correct blending of ingredients. Digestible amino acid. The total amino acids requirement of an individual breeder hen include 3 components: requirement for maintenance, requirement for tissue protein accretion, and requirement for egg production. A portion typically 10 to 15% of dietary amino acid ingested is not digested. There are excreted with these are excreted, which elevate the nitrogen in the feces. High nitrogen in the litter result in food bag lesion and excess ammonia, which can irritate eyes and respiratory tract. Because the indigestible portion varies considerably among feed ingredients, it's highly recommended that diets are formulated on digestible amino acid basis. For instance, soya meal, meat, and cottonseed meal contain about the same amount of total methionine, but their methionine digestibility vary widely. Diet formulated on the total amino acid basis must contain large safety margin to account for the difference in digestible amino acids content of different feed ingredients. By formulating diet on digestible amino acid basis, safety margins can be reduced and feed ingredients can be more accurately valued based on their content of bioavailable amino acids. Modern diet should only be formulated on the digestible amino acid basis. This process is more accurate, resulting in more economic diets, and can reduce the impact on environmental compared to formulating on total amino acid basis or on a crude protein basis. The progress made in raw material analysis and digestible amino acid evaluation should avoid unnecessary protein excess, which risks to hatchability and later quality. Balance of protein and amino acid to energy. The protein and amino acid content in the diet and the ratio to energy content are important not only for parent performance and hatchability, but also for check quality. Modern breeds are more responsible to dietary amino acid density and have the potential to deposit a lot more breast muscle and less fat, while broilers are fed to optimize growth and meat yield. The propensity for rapid growth and development of the large breast must be controlled in parent stock. Feeding unnecessarily high level of amino acid to high yield broiler breeder strain will lead to overfleshing. This extra muscle demand increased energy for maintenance. This is in turn placed a further demand on energy requirement of the bird that is already less inclined to accumulate fat. Protein and amino acid inclusion level of the bullet starter, developer, breeder, and breeder feed have been investigated in a number of laboratories. The effect of absolute level of protein or amino acid on the performance of confronted by differences in feed intake between studies attempted to determine and model the relationship between amino acid intake and the egg production have been made from example by Fisher and Fisher 2008. However, many studies emphasize the effect of both excess and inadequate protein intake, which demonstrate that high protein to energy ratio depresses reproductive performance and chick quality. Illustrates the negative effect of the excess protein on the fertility. The balance of amino acid to energy in modern broiler breeder diet is very important and has become a focus of many breeder farms and broiler breeder feed suppliers. The diet must allow producers to feed sufficient volume of feed to meet the energy intake requirement of birds without an excessive amino acid intake. Most trial and field results indicate that optimum level is quite stably defined, with 54 to 56 gram protein per 1000 kilocalorie for conversion female, 39 to 62 gram protein per 1000 kilocalorie for dwarf breeder female, for a diet containing 2750 kilocalorie, convert to an optimum of about 15% crude protein for conventional female and to about 16% crude protein for dwarf female. Minerals, vitamins. Vitamin and trace mineral nutrition is important not only for breeder performance but also for the performance of brooding. In contrast to the energy and protein composition of egg, the vitamin and mineral content is dependent on the maternal diet, and deficiencies, excesses, and imbalance may affect hatchability, chick viability, and broiler growth. The mineral and vitamin content of egg may vary over a fairly wide range, suggested that requirement of the parent for their maintenance and productivity may not match those of the embryo. There is increasing evidence of the beneficial role and higher level of maternal vitamins and mineral nutrition on component of the immune system in broilers. The response of breeder productivity and progeny performance to vitamin and mineral nutrition may be small, with negligible difference observed under trial and ideal conditions. Under stress, such as disease, differences in response to vitamin and mineral may be more apparent. Adequate vitamin and trace mineral supplementation with a quantity vitamin and available minerals is an inexpensive way to ensure that the young chicks is prepared for optimal skeletal growth and has healthy immune system to help cope with challenges during brooding. It's important that trace elements and vitamins should be correctly mixed before being added to the raw material. It's suggested that mineral and vitamin mixes are mixed at a minimum level of 3 kg per ton to ensure proper mixing for micro ingredients to be added to less than 3 kg per ton. Mix them in smaller mixers to get more bulk before adding to the main mixer. Improper mixing or handling can be checked by using manganese as tracer marker. Minerals. Major minerals calcium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, magnesium, chloride are involved in shell formation. Hence, general improvement in shell quality lead to better egg and chick. There is also very good evidence that maternal level of trace mineral, especially zinc, manganese, copper, and selenium, impact level in the egg. The shell must be sufficiently strong to afford physical protection to the growing embryo, and it must be constructed in such a way as to provide an efficient conduit for gaseous exchange and inhibit bacterial ingress. Calcium and phosphorus metabolism, because low calcium level increase phosphorus excretion and low phosphorus level increase calcium excretion. A proper ratio of calcium and phosphorus must always be maintained in order to satisfy the hen requirement of either nutrient. If hens became deficient in calcium or phosphorus, the excretion of the other nutrient is increased at the expense of the skeletal system. Calcium and phosphorus requirements are critical from pre-lay to post-peak due to the high calcium demand and consequent phosphorus demand, and after 40 weeks production due to skeletal calcium depletion and poor calcium absorption. Under normal condition, chloride and sodium and potassium and chloride are needed for general metabolic functions and are required for optimum egg production. Increased sodium, potassium, and magnesium level result in increased water intake and excreta moisture, which is in cold or temperate climate can rapidly lead to bad liver condition. The effect of the cation on water intake and excreta moisture increases with age, and it is dependent on the anion source. With the chloride effect, and excreta moisture are less pronounced, but an excess of chloride leads to changes in eggshell quality, especially when water supply